What's happening, people? Okay, we are live right now, live from the village right now. It is 3 minutes past 8 p.m. right now. It is the 26th of June, 2023 right now. I'm in London, England right now. It is Monday right now. It is movie night right now. We are continuing with Arnie season right now. We are about to watch The Terminator right now. The Terminator from, was it 1980? What was this again? I've forgotten. Here we go, 1985 right now. We are well into the 80s with our Arnie season. Well, midway through to the 80s really with our Arnie season right now. I have it on MGM via Amazon Prime. You can get it on a 7-day trial. If you have not had MGM already, you can get a 7-day trial, or you can buy or rent it through Amazon or other online services to watch it. And if you do decide to do that and get it ready on Zero, but of course you don't gotta do that. You don't gotta do that. You can still come along and have some fun. But if you want to watch along, then get it ready on Zero, whether you got it on streaming, whether you got it on VHS, Blu-ray, DVD, whatever you got it on, get it ready on Zero. And I'll let you know when to press play. But for now, let me switch over to this screen and chat to y'all for a little bit. Alright, so yeah, Monday movie night, about to watch The Terminator from 1985, continuing with our Arnie season, about midway through the 80s with Arnie, and we're going up to, what was it again? Was it, no, it was True Lies we're going up to, so about mid-90s, so a little bit to go, a few more to go, a few more weeks to go. So, here's the thing, I watched The Matrix Resurrection today, which came out I think a couple of years back. It's not old, but it's not a recent film either, maybe like 1-2 years ago I think it came out. I think it was 2021. Anyway, when it came out, I remember seeing the trailer. I remember thinking the trailer looks pretty cool, but in the end I never watched it in the cinema, and it got a lot of negative opinions. Pretty much everybody I know who's seen it said it was trash, it was complete garbage. And I didn't particularly enjoy, you know, Matrix 2 and 3. I really liked the first one. I thought that was an amazing film. But Matrix 2 and 3 were, you know, they had their moments, but overall just kind of drab for me. And so, yeah, as much as the Matrix trailer, Matrix 4 trailer looks pretty cool, I was kind of like, I don't know, man, maybe I don't want to see this just yet. Maybe I don't need to be any kind of rush to see this. So I kind of left it for a while, but I decided to watch it today. It was on Amazon as well, actually. It was available to buy for like $4.99. I figured, yeah, that's a good price to get it. that's a good price to get it, because I do want to see it. I do still like The Matrix, and I am interested in the story, even if it is going to be complete trash. I do still want to see it, but of course I don't want to spend a lot of money on seeing if it is going to be complete garbage. So $4.99 I thought was a good price. And so yeah, I bought it today and I watched it today, and you know what, I gotta keep it real. I guts to keep it real. I really liked it. I thought it was done really well. I thought the story made sense. I would say it didn't particularly feel necessary, like in terms of did it have to be made. I don't think it really did. But overall, it was still a pretty good film. It's still a pretty good, you know, fourth movie and a good way of bringing it back. Yo, what up, Sam? Sam being a place to be. I was just talking about The Matrix Resurrection I just watched today. Just saying how pretty much everybody I know who's seen it said it was complete trash, but I watched it today and I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty decent film. You know, had a really good story. The story made sense. It kind of delved into slightly different areas with the whole kind of real world, you know, real world, fake world thing. And I won't go into any spoilers with what it does there. But it kind of takes the whole Matrix thing in a slightly different direction, which is fine. I feel like you kind of have to. You can't just do the same things over and over again. But yeah, I thought it for me, it just didn't feel like it deserved a lot of the negative, bad reviews and opinions that it got. I thought it was done very well. I thought overall it's still worthwhile, even though it didn't overly feel too necessary. Like, it didn't feel like a story that they had to tell. You know what I mean? It didn't really feel like that, but it still felt worthwhile in terms of being a decent film. you know, good action, good story, deeper concepts and multi-layers to it as well. And yeah, I thought it done well. I liked it. I quite liked it. So I might be amongst very few people who liked it, but I liked it. I've only seen the first one. The first one is superb. The first one is just an excellent film from, again, being multi-layered, being great action, being something you can kind of dive into with all the metaphors that it has. I feel like this one kind of does that as well. Maybe not to the same extent, but yeah, it still pretty much does that. So yeah, worth watching. I will say with the Matrix films, the first one is superb. Parts 2 and 3, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people's opinion, not necessarily great movies, but still kind of worth watching just for the sake of getting a bit more of the story and understanding what the whole Matrix world a bit more. But they are kind of a drag fest, to be honest with you. Like, they do kind of feel like a chore to get through, but they at least give you a bit more understanding of the Matrix world, and they do that at least. And then by the time it gets to the fourth one, I thought it was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it, and I thought, like, in terms of, let's say, what the first Matrix movie did, it kind of not quite does that, but it feels like it's taken. It feels like it's going back to its roots, but not necessarily to the same roots. It probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think if once you've watched all, well, if you do watch all the movies, I think you'll know what I mean by that. But yeah, that's my opinion on the Matrix 4. Worth watching. I liked it. A lot of people didn't, but yeah, there you go. There you go. For what it's worth, I thought it was pretty good. I would say that maybe my one gripe, maybe not one gripe, but I'd say my biggest gripe with Matrix 4 is that a lot of the action suite sequences did feel a bit tamer to me. Like, it felt like they've done better stuff before. Not that the actions were bad, the action sequences were bad. They weren't terrible, by no stretch they were terrible, but it just kind of felt like a lot of it didn't feel like as good to me as what they've done before. But there definitely were a few scenes in there where I was like, yo, that was. So yeah, overall pretty good. What up, Dan? What up, Al? AE in a place to be. BD, what do you see? Give me your clothes, your boot, and your motorcycle. If you got it, get it ready on 0. I'll let you know when to press play. I couldn't get into it. I like action, but I don't like the future feel action films with different dimensions, etc. Too much hard work to follow. Fair enough. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, maybe don't bother with the rest of them. If that's the case, then maybe don't bother with the rest of them. They're all kind of in that same area, and if that didn't do it for you, then yeah, the rest probably won't do much. But hey, you never know. You never know. Yo, what up, Al? What up, Dan? I was just saying that I watched The Matrix Resurrections today. It was The Matrix Part 4, which a lot of people did not like. Have you guys seen it? Have you guys seen it? If so, what did you think of it? But a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people said it was complete garbage. I watched it today, and I thought it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it did really well. I thought it was, you know, pretty good action, pretty good story, multi-layered. And I like what they did with the whole kind of reality versus fake world type thing. You know, they kind of it felt to me like they were going in with different metaphors for this movie than they did with the previous movies, which I appreciated because it wasn't just like rehashing the same things over and over again. And it was very self-aware as well within itself, which I know can be kind of that could be a bit hit or miss when films are kind of very self-aware like that. I felt it was more hit than miss with this movie. So yeah, definitely not complete garbage in my opinion. Oh, we just got a new sub. Taylor Tate, big up, welcome to the village. Appreciate you subbing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I ain't know if you're in a live chat if in a live chat or not, but if you are, I appreciate you. And even if you're not, I appreciate you anyway. But big up for the sub. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love the first one the most. Yeah, the first one is still, in my opinion, probably... Yeah, I'd say it's probably still the best one. I'll say it's there in terms of what it did at the time, you know, because like it was so groundbreaking at that time, and Matrix 4 not quite like that. You know, it's not that, like, you know, when you saw Matrix for the first, well, maybe apart from Sam anyway, everyone apart from Sam, but when we saw Matrix for the first time back in 1999, that was pretty mind-blowing for a lot of people. I don't think this is that mind-blowing, but it's certainly pretty good. So yeah. Arnie now says, I want your clothes, your boots, and your pension book. You know what? I'm pretty sure Arnie don't need my pension book. I might need his. I might need his. He don't need mine. I might need his. From being in an island on your own when it comes to movie opinions. Yeah, indeed. Well, it can be. It can be. You know, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's good to have it's cool to agree with stuff, but it's good to have your own opinions, of course. But yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen Matrix 4, if you liked the first Matrix movie, I feel like you would probably like this one as well. But like I said, it seems to me a lot of people hated this film, so it's a bit hard to recommend because I might be amongst very few people who actually liked it. But hey, is what it is. I like it. I'll recommend it, but hey, this might be the island that I'm on, the small island of people who likes Matrix 4. Reese is one hell of a hero. Oh, indeed, indeed. I mean, if it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be no John Connor. There wouldn't be no John Connor. It'd be like this whole movie wouldn't even happen. Imagine sending like somebody back knowing that they're gonna bang your mum though. That's mad. That's mad. Imagine sending somebody back in time knowing that guy is gonna bang your mum, and you're like, you know what? It just has to be done. Otherwise, I'm not here. It just has to be done. I have to send you back to bang my mom so I can be here. Like, bruh. That's mad. Imagine a thought process going into that one. Bro, to think about that one, like, damn it, man. I mean, jeez, can't. I want to view that like the first Terminator more than the second. I love the second. Same as, oh, we got two that likes the first more than the second. Oh, well, that is rare, isn't it? Two people on that island. It's all good. Yeah. But yeah, I do like Terminator. It's a great movie. I like Terminator 2 more. I feel like, yeah, I do think Terminator 2 was a better movie, but of course you don't get Terminator 2 without Terminator 1, so you got to appreciate where it all started, which is what we're about to do today. We're going to show appreciation for the 1985 original. I think we could all agree that Terminator 2 is pretty much the last good movie though in the Terminator series. Like, it went Terminator 1, Terminator 2, then they just may as well stop. I mean, Salvation weren't too bad, to be fair. Salvation was pretty okay, but yeah, I feel like Terminator 1, Terminator 2, they could have just stopped there. They could have just stopped there, but oh well, oh well. AI's taking over nowadays, indeed. AI. T2 Judgment Day was great. That'd be, I guess, in a few weeks for our Arnie season. I think there's, let me double check real quick actually. So I think there's maybe, because Terminator 2 was 93, 4, I think, something like that. So he did a few movies in between Terminator and Terminator 2. And I know he was, from what I can remember, he was definitely a much bigger star than he was by the time Terminator 2 came out. Much bigger. So he definitely had a few hits in between Terminator and Terminator 2. Maybe like 3 or 4, I think. Let me just consult my list, because there'd be a few movies before we get to Terminator 2. Quite a few movies, actually. Red Sonja, Commando, yeah, that was a big one. Raw Deal, Predator, The Running Man, Red Heat, Twins. Wait a minute, Twins was before Terminator. Okay, Twins, Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, and then Terminator 2. So yeah, quite a good few movies. It'd be quite a few weeks before we get to Terminator 2. But there's some classics coming up in our Arnie season. Definitely some classics about to come up. I ain't know that too, but Predator is one of my favorite movies ever, so I'm looking forward to that one. And then after Terminator 2, it's this Last Action Hero, and then True Lies. True Lies is where we're going to end Arnie season. That's not to say that we'll never, do other movies. We'll see how it goes after that. But for now, I think that's a good place to stop with True Lies. For this season of Arnie season, anyway. All right. I'm gonna catch up with the chat, and then we'll get ready to start this movie. If you haven't already, get it ready on 0. I have seen all the ones you mentioned. Yeah, I think have I seen all these movies? I'm pretty sure I've seen all. I know I haven't seen every single Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I know that. But yeah, no, I have seen all these ones at least. But some of them I've seen such a long time ago that I forgot. Like Red Sonja was such a long time ago, I've forgotten a lot about it. Commando, I know I've watched it, but again, it was quite a while ago. Red Heat, yeah, I've seen them all. Red Heat was quite a long time ago as well. Like, some movies, you kind of watch them once and then, yeah. So yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've seen all these ones before. I've seen all these movies before, but I'll say not most of them. I don't really remember all too well. Like even Last Action Hero, I've seen that, but I don't remember it very, very well. So yeah. True Lies. I just remember the bad guy being Art Malik. I remember the bad guy being Art Malik. That was like, was an Arab bad guy. that was a whole thing back in the day. Have the bad guy, the Arab bad guy. That was the thing. I love T2. It's amazing. It's just I prefer the first one. The first one bends genres, which I appreciate. Second is all out action. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. True Lies is yes, that's true actually. Actually only found it out recently, but yeah, that is true. That is not a lie. That is just true. But yeah, it's a remake of a French movie called Le Total. I've not seen the original, but yeah, I've literally found it out recently when I watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary. Apparently Arnie saw that movie and was like, I want to make this film. Yo, what up, Guel Fights, what up? Love the atmosphere of Terminator. I've seen it and liked it. Awesome. Might have to introduce that to our movie night as well. Just mad. What up, Ben? Ben's in his house. All right. Let's move over to this screen. And I shall get mine ready on 0 since I haven't done that already. So there we go. I'm on 0. All right. So we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, play. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, what's going on? Oh no, we're good. We started. Ooh, that's quite loud though. That is quite loud. Let me turn this down in my ears. That's quite loud. This Arnie film is Predator. Oh, Predator is awesome, isn't it? I'm looking forward to that one coming up. Definitely looking forward to that one. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Yeah, you know it, man. You know it. Stick around. I could probably quote that movie. I think I've seen that enough times. I can probably recite that movie from beginning to end at this point. Diran, you son of a bitch. Los Angeles, 2029. Oh, we're not that far away. We're about, what, 7 years? No, 6 years away? We're 6 years away from this future. We are not that far anymore. And let's be honest, we're getting, like you say, AI taking over. We're really not that far. This literally could be our future in the next 6 years. Do you have a favorite Arnie film, Haze? Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say Predator as well. Predator is just one of my favorite movies in general. The machines rose from the ashes of the nuclear fire. Their war to exterminate mankind had raged for decades, but the final battle would not be fought in the future. It would be fought here in our present tonight. But yeah, I mean, Predator is just one of my favorite films anyway. So yeah, if I had to pick a favorite Arnie movie, it would have to be Predator. Just come on. Come on. He's definitely done some great movies before and after that, but if I had to pick a favorite, definitely be Predator. And especially, like, for me, Predator was, I believe, one of the first 18 rated movies I saw. Except at the time I didn't know it was 18 rated because it was on TV and it was edited so badly that it was practically cut down to a U certificate. You know, but I didn't know that at the time, right? So we'd recorded it off the TV on the VHS. You know, we had VHS back in the day, right? And I remember we recorded it. I remember watching the recording that we had and not knowing it was that badly edited because that's all you knew, right? That's the only thing I knew. And I'd watch that over and over again, thinking it was this coolest thing, right? And then it wasn't till like, I mean, I knew there was an unedited version of it. Like, I guess, I mean, eventually I knew there was an unedited version, not right away, but eventually I knew there was an unedited version, but I still hadn't seen it yet. And it wasn't till even years after that I finally saw the full unedited version. And that's when I realized how badly edited the TV version that I've been watching all that time was. And it literally felt like I was watching a movie for the first time again. And yeah, it's just like being I was impressed by the edited version. So imagine watching an unedited version and finally seeing that. I was like, whoa, that's what happened. So yeah, Predator is definitely just one of my favorite films anyway. So yeah, 100% favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Caught Puerto Rico almost line for like, oh, nice, man. Nice. Mate, we wish I had 3 hands. What's your guys' favorite Arnie movies? I think we've got a few already, but even still, what's your favorite Arnie movies? Oh, it's a great movie. Also really likes The Running Man. The Running Man probably hasn't aged well, as it's super cheesy, but I love it. You know what? The Running Man was set in the year partly set in the year 2017. Yo, what up, Reese? It was partly set in the year 2017, and it actually predicted 2017 pretty well. Now, to be honest, right now I can't remember a lot of what it got right because it's been a while since I've checked it, but I do remember going through it one time. And there was a lot about 2017 that the Running Man got right. So I think by the time we watched out on movie night, we started looking at some of the things like, yeah, that's what it got. It got that right. Got that right. Got that right. It's quite a few things. I can't remember any of them right now, but it's definitely quite a few things. Then we got Arnie's bum right now. If nothing else, you get to see Arnie's bum at the beginning of Terminator 2. Terminator, rather. Reese M, what up, man? Got my net. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, this is Arnie's Willy. You actually get to see Arnie's Willy in this. I didn't even realize that. I thought, I guess it's not something to be proud of that I'm noticing Arnie's Willy. Right, that's probably not something I should brag about, to be honest with you, but. Where we get to see Arnie's bum and Arnie's Willy at the beginning of Terminator. And initial Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero. Yeah, man. Big quotables in that film, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Guess again. That's my own too. Probably my favorite Arnie movie. Okay. Okay, yeah. Running Man is awesome though. I don't want to be the only son of a bitch in hell. Oh man, rest in peace to Yaphet Kotto. Legendary actor right there. Got right that corporations were gonna rule the world. Yeah. And the whole kind of reality TV stuff, it pretty much got that spot on. There was a few other things. Like I said, I can't remember a lot of it right now, but there's quite a few things it got right about 2017. How are you? Anyway, how far are you in the movie? Oh, we just started, so we are just about 7 minutes, 7.5, just gone 7.5 minutes into the film. So Reese has just turned up. I don't see if you got to see Reese's bum or not, though. Oh yeah, you do. You get to see Reese's bums too. I don't think we get to see his Willy. Yeah, you don't get. He just stole some trousers from a homeless guy. But here's the point, though. Like, Arnie's a robot, right? And I know that he's designed to look like a human, but why would you give him a Willy? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you just like not bother with that part if you're making a humanoid? I mean, I get it. You're making a human-looking robot, but at the same time, do you really need to give him a Willy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how necessary is that for a robot? So here's my question for the group. Like, if you were to design a robot and you wanted to make it look like a human, do you still think giving it a Willy is important? And I guess it depends on what the purpose of the robot is fundamentally. But, you know, he's a killing machine. He's not a sex machine, right? So I don't know, like, do you need to give the robot a Willy as well? Is my question. Like, if you're making a killing machine, because he's going to get some clothes and, you know what I mean? He's going to be all covered up for the most part. So I don't know. I feel like it's not overly necessary. Probably where we were heading. Just in case the Terminator needs to seduce a woman. Well, that's a good point. Good point. You know, he has to pretend, you know, has to blend in and, you know, concept of AI becoming self-aware and turning us is enough. You know, for sure. It really isn't. It really isn't that far-fetched. I mean, back when this came out, it was like some wild, you know, unrealistic view of the future, but the closer and closer we get to 2029, it's like, maybe we should have listened. Maybe we should have paid attention. Sponsored by Nike. Well, they arrive naked, so they will need a Willy. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna kind of shock people anyway. I guess you'll shock people even more if you didn't have a Willy. So yeah. And it's going to be correct, makes sense for states, and this will probably trigger some people. Yeah, I don't think you can say Terminator anymore. You have to say terminate birth and giving people or something like that. You know, to be politically correct. He had his mouth passed because what was that? He was a living organism with machine insides designed to blend in and be unnoticeable. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, I think yeah, he needs a willy. Even if he doesn't use it, he needs it just like you say, just in case. I guess it. Creates just a little less confusion. You know, gender non-conforming Terminator. Man, look at that bike chain. That is so weak. Like, you could probably break that with your hands. That is... Come on now. The birth regenerator. Hey, it's all that woke crap. Yeah. There needs to be fluid in gender, so they'll be back. Wokenator. Rise of the genders. Oh, here we go. He's got his badass costume on. Well, badass as far as 1985 goes. I ain't gonna lie, that looks kind of suspect these days. Rich people, basically. Yeah, woke's a word that... Yeah, I feel like it's a shame what's happened to that word, in all honesty, because, like... I think it's a shame what happened to that word, because, like, it started out... In fact, that word, in terms of how it's used, originally, I believe, came up during the 70s. And it was really just used as a way of saying, stay aware, you know, be aware that, you know, not everybody's trying to help you, in particular when it comes to like racial, actually, we've got ice cream in there. It's a waste of food right there. Smack that kid. And in particular when it comes to being like sort of racial disparities, like being aware that not every white person, you know, is your friend and that kind of thing. This is like 70s, and it was a way of just saying, you know, be aware, right? Just be aware that you can't trust everybody, right? Be vigilant, right? And so it's kind of a slang way of saying that in a lot of Black American communities. It became that kind of thing. And by the way, this guy real quick, the guy who runs the gun shop, people refer to him as a that guy actor, as in the type of actor that you see in movies. You know, he's not necessarily famous. You probably won't recognize him if you saw him in the street, but you know, he's that guy. You know what I mean? He just appears in movies in a bunch of roles. You know, that guy. But yeah. So yeah, to be aware, to be, you know, don't sleep on these things. And that's kind of how it was and how it isn't, in my opinion, how it should be. But somewhere in the last, I don't know, few years, maybe 3-4 years, maybe ish, give or take. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm blaming white people on that one. You guys messed that up. I'm blaming white people for that one. I think was it you know the Bill Burr. Bill Burr did a comedy sketch where he kind of described it, and I feel like, I don't know if this is true or not, by the way, but from the way he described it, it sounds like it probably is true, where he was saying that yeah, you know, the word woke, you know, it was, you know, how it started out, you know, it was a way of, you know, all this kind of stuff, right? And then he goes how what happened is that, you know, a black guy was at a party and he was talking to his black friend saying, stay woke. And then some white guy overheard it and was like, stay woke, huh? Yeah, I was like using that. Woke, stay woke, woke. I could honestly believe the way Bill Burr described it in that comedy sketch is probably exactly what happened. And it just got messed up from there. It just got messed up from there. That dude is awesome for sure, man, for sure. Don't blame me. You're cool, Al. If you're in this chat, you're cool. I'm blaming white people, except all the white people in this chat. You guys are cool. You guys are cool. But yeah, man, I might have to find that clip and maybe post the link to it or something, because it's so funny. That Bill Burr skit is so funny. Bill Burr's is funny anyway. You guys know, I'm sure. If we came together and realized we don't need protected from all the stuff they tell us we need to be afraid of, they serve no purpose. I don't agree with rich ruling class. Prime Minister and his wife are some of the richest people on the planet, for example. Dick Miller. Oh, is that his name? I should know that. Dick Miller. My bad. Appreciate you, Dick Miller. But yeah, I mean, I think like there's definitely a shift in how things are. Not to say that, of course, everything's fine now. Of course, I don't believe that. But I do think there is a shift in. I think classism is maybe more prevalent than people realize. You know what I mean? Like, of course, things like racism still exist. I ain't saying that, and sexism still exists, of course, and homophobia still exists. I ain't saying that. But I feel like classism is something that probably exists more so in the background in a bigger way than people maybe fully, and then a lot of people think fully acknowledge that. For example, Jay-Z walking into a shop isn't going to be treated the same way as, I don't know, Jared Harrison walking into a shop. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be two different things. So I feel like there is definitely something to be said about how classism plays a part in this whole thing that a lot of times people don't fully acknowledge. Yeah, money is power. Seen Bill Beloved Madison. Oh, nice, man. That is awesome. And Madison Square Garden as well. Bro. Big things. That's one of the biggest venues in New York, I believe. Well, certainly one of the most famous ones, anyway. Rich people, white people, just cause the ruling class are predominantly white doesn't mean white people are guilty of anything. Money is power in this world. Yeah. Money. I guess one of the things they got wrong about 2029 is that those, instead of like that car, it'd probably be something like a Prius. I think, like it'd probably be you know what I mean? Like you'd probably be driving like a Prius, or like a Hyundai or something. You know what I mean? But apart from that, can't be right all the time. Do you have a favorite comedian? I I have a few favorite comedians. Bill Burr, yeah, definitely one of them. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart. I don't know, I think a lot of my favorite comedians are probably more old school though. Like, I don't know too many of the newer comedians. Eddie Murphy, of course, yeah, back in the day, yeah. So the conversation comes to world culture, so Sam woke up. I'm like, you know what? let me, yeah. So good. It's safe to come back now, Sam. It's safe to come back. Yeah, somebody's killing Sarah Connors. Man, look at that 80s hair though. Look at that 80s hair. That was so many times I can stand to this before I'm like on today say most people disagree with me, but with Morgan Freeman on the race fan, I think he hit the nail on the head in the interview where he said, I'll stop calling you like when you stop calling me black. Yeah, I saw that interview and that was an interesting interview. And he said, I think he said something about, you know, we just need to stop talking about it, which is not wrong. I don't think that's incorrect. That being said, I do think it's probably a little bit more complicated than that, you know. But yeah, you know, if you could simplify it down to how we refer to people, and using language that doesn't say separate us, and try to normalize that. But yeah, in a world of what, 7 billion? Yeah, easier said than done. George Carlin, yeah. Richard Pryor, yeah. Chris Rock, Robin Williams, Bernie Mac, yeah. Red Fox, Jim Carrey, Steve Martin too, for sure. Bernie Mac has that classic sketch where he did at Def Jam. He did a classic sketch at Def Jam. That I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't, definitely look it up. Bernie Mac at Def Jam. Treat people with respect. It's not hard, for sure. Also, we come together, not campaign community. It's always things that prolong division. I think one of the things that people don't realize is that a lot of times when you have, say, a cause the cause would arise out of a need, to address, like, say, an injustice, for example. But oftentimes it becomes, I think with people, we become very much attached to our identities. And when somebody identifies with a cause, it typically becomes, on a subconscious level, more important to keep that cause alive, rather than actually address the issue. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making a whole lot of sense right now, but it makes sense in my head. I'm not sure if it makes sense for anybody else. But I feel like sometimes people get more focused on the existence of something rather than actually solving the issue of why that thing existed in the first place. And then the thing that this cause was initially created to solve, it ends up perpetuating it even more for the sake of its own existence. So yeah, I do think a lot of times things need to be, checked. People need to be able to double check themselves and say, okay, this is why we started something. Is this reason still valid? And be honest with yourselves about what it is you're trying to do, why you are trying to do it, and what are you hoping to achieve. I think people should be shamed for the actions of their ancestors either. You feel about people protesting for causes like just the oil and how they go about it. Should be a national apology. Any victims sorry to them. And for the way the UK was fundamentally racist towards blacks in the 60s and 70s. If you saw black people on TV, it was because they were mistaken people thought it was normal. Just Stop Oil, I would say I don't really know a whole lot about them, and my experience with them is probably more on the negative side, in the sense that, being a cab driver, like a lot of times, like roads get closed and it just causes traffic and backs things up for a whole lot of things. I mean, I guess I don't have a major issue with anybody wanting to campaign something they believe in or protest something that they believe in, regardless of whether I believe in it or not myself. But I'm not sure, and perhaps it's because I don't necessarily know a whole lot about what they actually do. I'm not sure what their protests are trying to achieve, So, but yeah, I've not really bothered to look a whole lot into them to really have a fully fledged opinion on that whole thing. That issue is easier than finding a solution. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I remember a lot of that stuff on TV. It was even up until like the 80s, really, and maybe even into the 90s, where a lot of times you saw a black person on TV, it was, in a maybe more negative light. There's maybe only a few, I think, like maybe Lenny Henry in the 80s is one of the few that I can remember. Lenny Henry, Eddie Murphy was one of the few that I can remember from the 80s that had maybe more positive images. And to be honest, some could argue that they weren't always that positive either, depending on how far you want to take it. But to me, at least anyway, being a young kid at that time, they were maybe one of the amongst a few black celebrities that, weren't playing, Thug Number 2 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, so that was significant. But yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say things are perfect now, but it's certainly a whole lot better than they were back then, that's for sure. And of course, things like biases still exist. And I think something that people don't fully recognize as well is that we're all gonna have biases. And I think sometimes people are too quick to call somebody a racist, because calling, if something doesn't go my way, right, and I say it's racism, I could get a lot more attention than if I just said, you know, I had a bad job interview or something like that. You know what I mean? I can get a lot more attention. I think some along the way people recognize that, and subconsciously, let's be honest, we all somewhat crave attention in some way. And when you realize certain things, whether consciously or subconsciously, we might behave in ways that feed those biases. You know, it's easy to say something is discrimination because, you know, even though you don't necessarily have any real evidence of it, but it's easy to say that knowing that it can get more attention, and especially knowing that you don't really have to back it up. You know, you don't really have to back it up. And a lot of people would, I mean, think about, what's that guy, Jussie Smollett? When he said it was a racist, homophobic attack. How many people jumped to his defense, right? How many people jumped to his defense? Right? How many people jumped to that guy's defense without questioning it, without, you know, whatever, without checking it, they jumped to his defense. They were like, you know what, we need to support this person. This shouldn't happen, right? And what happened there? Turns out he was lying. Turns out he was lying. So, yeah. And the shame of it is that all those people who jumped to his defense, most likely did so with good intentions, you know, because they felt necessary to support somebody who's been a victim of, you know, a racist, homophobic attack. They wanted to show support for that. And now what does it do? Next time somebody says they were a victim of a racist, homophobic attack, they probably will get more, what's the word? More skepticism than they deserve to. You know what I mean? So it has a negative knock-on effect when you use things outside of, it's like the whole kind of boy who cried wolf type thing. So yeah, I feel like somewhere along the lines, I don't know when exactly, but somewhere along the lines, people realize that calling something racist, calling something sexist, homophobic is just going to get you a whole lot more attention than just saying, you know, I messed up on my interview. You know, and even when you look at news articles, sometimes they would highlight, like for example, if a black guy gets into a fight with a white guy, they would highlight the two races because it gets more attention. And it may be that they were fighting over, you know, a gambling debt or something. You know what I mean? Like maybe somebody owes somebody money or something and he wouldn't pay it back, and it's like, man, you told me you're gonna pay it back, I need that money, and it's like they got into a fight over it. But they'll highlight the race thing because that's what that brings you, gets the attention. And I think on some level, subconsciously, we're all kind of victims of that in terms of paying more attention to certain things than we probably should be. You should have to dislike things about other cultures without being deemed racist. Yeah, you can. I mean, but of course that depends on specifically why you don't like it. I mean, you know, or maybe more specifically why you feel the need to say you don't like it, you know, when keeping quiet is an option. You know what I mean? If part of somebody's culture is, I don't know, dancing in the rain, and by dancing in the rain, you know, if it doesn't affect you, doesn't disturb your day, doesn't stop you from doing what you want to do, you know what I mean? It's like there's a point where you have to ask yourself, okay, I don't necessarily have to like it, but do I have to speak on everything? So I feel like, yeah, you should be able to dislike things without being called a racist, but that might depend on specifically what is it you don't like, why you don't like it, and maybe why you feel the need to say you don't like it. So I feel like there's a lot of nuance in that one, to be honest. There's a lot of like gray areas to like there's a lot of things that people do that we don't necessarily have to like, but you know, how much of it do we have to speak on? Oh, it's a classic scene though. And that's part of, and to be honest, that might be even part of the problem. Like when it comes to these sorts of things, that there is so much nuance and so much gray area that it's difficult to just say you're a this, you know. And like I said, it's easy to say it, right? But it's to say it, and I'll kind of contradict myself a little bit. It's easy to say. Of course, it's easy to just say it, but it's difficult to actually say it with any real validity. You can say it because it gets a lot of attention, and a lot of times people won't really look further other than the, you know, surface level. But the problem is that yeah, you're not really considering the nuances of the whole thing. You know, you're not really necessarily considering, like, we all have subconscious biases and various things like that, and racism itself could exist in varying degrees. You know, that a person may not necessarily be racist, but if they were raised in a racist family, there may be things that they say or do that they themselves don't necessarily realize could be offensive to people. You know, they're not necessarily trying to be, they're not setting out to hurt you, but it's just subconsciously, that's how, you know, you don't know until you know. And I feel a lot of times we're not necessarily giving people grace in terms of saying, hey, can we speak about this thing that was said, and try to understand where they're coming from and where you're coming from, and hopefully meet somewhere where you can both have an understanding of each other. I feel like there's far few people willing to do that, and too many people just willing to make accusations because that's the easy thing, and that's the thing that gets attention, and that's the thing that gets you trending, and that's the thing that, you know, gets the blog posts talking about you and everything else. So could be fine over. I think I missed a lot of the chat. Let me try and catch up a little bit. People by genetics, people are foolish and seem to have the needs to flap their gums. Yeah, especially with social media. Yeah, I love how Carl Reese used an innocent bystander as a human shield. Hey, Carl Reese is a bad man. You know, like, he's supposed to be the good guy, but he stole from a homeless guy. Right, first thing he did, stole from a homeless guy. Let's don't forget that. And now he used to as human shield. He's not the hero. He's not the hero we deserve. No, wait. Is he the hero we? He's not the hero we need, but he's the hero we deserve. Actually, no. Maybe he's the hero we need, actually, because without him, none of this happens. In every subject, regardless on how much they know about it, or even affects them. Yeah. That's the thing about the internet. The best thing about the internet is that everybody has a voice. The worst thing about the internet, everyone has a voice. Right. Change behavior patterns. Everyone now feels the needs to speak. Reese got the situation handled. Yeah, that's right. Social media almost promotes you to empty out all your horribleness all over other people. He's a survivalist. For sure, for sure. He spouting a lot of words and numbers that surely he knows she won't understand at this point. Like, maybe take it slowly and say, hey, look, I know this sounds crazy, but, you know, let's ease you into what's going on here. Guys can use me as a human shield because his whole topic is hard work. Don't worry, Sam, you'll get your turn. Carl Reese is coming for you. Alright, actually, here's a question. A man comes back, well, a man comes to you, says he's from the future, and he's here to protect you from a killer robot. Do you go with him? Or do you, like, say, I'll take my chances? Like, what are you doing? Guy comes back, says he's from the future, and he's here to protect you from a killer robot, or a killer cyborg. Are you going with him to protect you, or are you taking your chances? For us tonight, found in a bag of old videos. Oh, nice. That's a good movie. So that found me up after watching it. Yeah, 3 times. He ended up with clothes and the shotgun sort of the right part of said weapon to hide it better than the vehicle. It's better after that than about the simulation theory. Although, might be fun. I would have doubts. I don't know, man. I'm not sure what I'd do. I think in all honesty, I'll probably be like, I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, I'll probably end up getting killed by the Terminators right away. What if the Terminator wants to get me? I'll find out soon enough. Say to a Terminator, did you just assume my gender and get shot? See that car is now inside the top 10. Top 10? Wait, did I miss something? Top 10 what? UK chart singles. Oh, you know, I read that wrong. I thought it said Kyle. I thought it said, you know, because we were talking about Kyle Reese. I thought it said Kyle. It said Kylie. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I was like, top 10. And you got UK charts. I'm thinking, what? What's going on? I was confused for a whole second. I thought it said Kyle because we were talking about Kyle Reese. It said Kylie. My bad. Okay. Kylie is in the top 2. Cool. That makes sense. That makes sense. But then again, I don't know. Kyle Reese, if he released a single, might be good. Might be good. confusion was very real. I mean, if Kylie came back from the future and said she was here to protect me from a killer robot, I'd probably go with her, to be honest. Like, I think I probably would go with her. I'd be like, alright, let's go. I'll probably stop listening after I'm here for you. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Cool. We need a gender non-conforming Terminator that will respect pronouns. I think this one does though, right? I think this Terminator does respect pronouns. I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched this movie, so maybe I've forgotten a few things, but I feel like he does. I think he does. I think he does use the right pronouns in this movie. I think they all do. My pronouns are that bitch. I am that bitch. Would be a great one to represent that. I see so many people put their pronouns in their bios, but thankfully I've never had anyone ask me what mine are. In seriousness, do people actually ask others what to address them by? I've never done that. Honestly, I've never done that, and it's not even like that I don't care, because I feel like ultimately it's just basic manners to refer to somebody as they prefer to be referred to, right? That's not a thing for me. But it's more like I don't see. It feels like an unnecessarily awkward conversation to have with somebody when you just met them. You know what I mean? Like if I'm meeting you, I'm not gonna ask you what are your pronouns. Like what you know what I mean? It feels like I look, maybe I don't know, 5 years, 10 years from now, it'd be totally normal in society to say that when you first meet somebody. But right now, I don't feel our culture is like that. I don't feel that is our current culture where that is the done thing. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe one day it will be. I don't feel that is right now. And as such, I'm not trying to usher it in. It's, you know what I mean? I'm not the one trying to usher it in. I'll go with whatever the flow is in polite society, but yeah, I'm not trying to usher that in myself. So right now I don't think that is the normal thing to do. So I'm not going to do it. Maybe one day it will be the normal thing to do, and if it does become the normal thing to do, then it is what it is. But right now, no, I'm not asking you for your preferred pronouns if I meet you. I'm gonna say hello, miss, if you look like a girl, right? You know what I mean? I'm gonna say that. Or I'm just gonna use your name if I know your name. If I say something and I got it and I get it wrong and you want to correct me, that's cool. I don't mind being corrected. It's not an issue with me. If you're rude about it, I might have to smack you. But yeah. But no, I'm not doing it. Or is it just more look at me, social media activism and attention seeking? That's probably part of it. I mean, I doubt personally that that's what it is for most people. But yeah, I'm sure that's probably not a small number of people who are just trying to look cool or whatever. And or maybe there's some chick they're trying to bang and they're trying to show how cool they are down with the woke crowd. Look at me. What's happening? Associate with anyone with work mindset, phone stuff, identifying as a toaster and share their bunkers. Identify as just means pretending to be. I mean, I identify as one of Will Smith's kids, so I'm just waiting for him to accept that and send me some pocket money for. You know, some back payment in pocket money. I'm not greedy. I just need like 18 years worth of pocket money. Like, I mean, I can what £1,000 a week for 18 years. You know, worth of pocket money in back payments. I feel like I should get that because I identify as one of Will Smith's kids. So I'm just saying I don't necessarily think it's bonkers. So I'm identified as a toaster. I feel very hurt by your commentaries. To support apology, or else I shall be going to HR to lodge a formal complaint if you think it's a safe space. Nice. I'll give you a nice test. That's the way I thought. Hat test, but that's a word I heard for a while. Oh, what was it stand for again? Something application test. I forget what the P stands for, but it's something application test, I think, wasn't it? I hadn't heard it for ages. But for real, though, I feel like portable appliance test. There you go. Sparky. But yeah, I think ultimately, like, as an individual, you can live your life any which way you want to live your life, right? You know, and even in ways that don't make sense to other people. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. And for me, it just comes down to, are you hurting anybody else? Does it affect anybody else in any kind of negative way? You know, things like that. Are you doing something illegal or immoral or anything like that? And if the answer to those questions is no, then it's like, oh, have at it. You know, somebody identifies as a toaster and they fully believe that they are a toaster. I was like, all right, well, you're a toaster, but I understand that you're going to have to figure out how to pay your bills as a toaster. You're going to have to figure out, you know, how to maintain the house that you are in. If that's what you want to do, then have at it. But I think it becomes a problem when there seems to be sometimes like a kind of forced agreement, like I don't have to believe you are a toaster if you identify as a toaster. I don't have to believe that. I can respect that's, you know, how you feel and that's your business. But I don't have to believe that myself. You know what I mean? And I'll still try to treat you as I treat any human with respect. You know, I'm not going to try and be rude to you or anything like that, or treat you any less than, or I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, I don't have to believe that you're a toaster. But if you believe you're a toaster, I respect that you believe that. I just don't have to believe that myself. I'll still treat you with respect, because at the end of the day, you are still human as far as I can tell. And all humans should be treated with, you know, just a base level of respect. But at the end of the day, I don't have to, in my mind, believe what you believe. And I think sometimes people kind of forget that, whether it's they want you to believe what they believe and feel maybe feel threatened if you don't. And then on the other side, you might have people who feel like because you believe you're a toaster, they feel like they have some kind of rights to treat you with some kind of disrespect. Now they don't have to be nice to you, they don't have to be, you know, things like that. And I feel like both ways of looking at that is fundamentally flawed. You know, people are still people regardless of what you believe or what you don't believe, and all people, regardless of what you believe, should be treated with, I mean, apart from pedophiles, you know, maybe not all people, but, you know, and things like that. But people in general should be treated with just at least a base level of respect until they've proven that they don't deserve that. Right? But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't have to believe what you believe. I don't have to, strictly speaking, even support it. I just respect that that's how you want to live. That's what you believe. It's cool. It doesn't affect me. I can still go about my day doing what I want to do. I can still live my life the way I want to live my life. The way you live your life ain't none of my business. I don't need to involve myself with it. There you go. I would identify as rich. It just happens in my bank account doesn't agree. Don't worry, one day it's coming, man. Keep believing it. It will come one day. You got to keep believing it, dude. You got to keep believing it. I identify as coffee, but I drink mine black. I'll be cold. I forgot what to put it. Yeah, I like my women like I like my coffee. Bought from a shop. Oh, another iconic scene coming up. I drink mine the same, got it. That's the thing, we can't treat people, we can treat people with respect, we don't have to share the same beliefs. Yeah, that's what I reckon, what's that? And we can't be coffee. Toaster, I'll hardly know you. I'll be back, there we go. Classic line. And the line that ended up defining Arnie's career. That small throwaway line that was supposed to be nothing more than just a thing to say became such an iconic 3 words. Be insane by all means, but I don't have to conform to your insanity basically. Yeah, indeed. Pretty hot and strong. Oof. Actually wanted to change that line. Yeah, that's true. He wanted it to be I will be back. I feel like I will be back was still works in the context of the film, but who knows, maybe it wouldn't have caught on as well as it did. His accent. You want to talk crappy beliefs? What his opinions on Die Hard? First of all, it's not an opinion, it's a fact, okay? So, let's get it right. Robert De Niro and Taxi Driver. Oh yeah, the You Talk to Me. Yeah. You talking to me? You talking to me? Apparently that was improvised. Let's say something like, I'll come back, but he didn't think it's out. Hit me now for something. That's completely wrong. Yeah, it was on the Arnie documentary on Netflix, where I think the original line, I believe, was something like "I'll come back," but yeah, he didn't. Arnie wanted to change it to "I will be back," and then eventually James Cameron was like, "Just say I'll be back," and he was like, "Yeah." So that's where it came to the end. So yeah, the original scripted line was something like "I'll come back" or "I'll be right back," or something like that. Anyway, but yeah, the original scripted line was different to what was suggested and what it ended up finally being. Would you say you're a fan of Rob De Niro, Haze? I mean, I don't know if I'd use the word fan, but yeah, I know I like his stuff. You know, he's definitely done some great movies over the years, and yeah, a few of my favorites in there as well. So, yeah, I guess kind of a fan, sure. I mean, I guess it's that I very rarely use the word fan when talking about a lot of celebrities, but yeah, I guess so. In a sense of where that I like his movies, I guess I'm a fan, yeah. It's not a fact. It's one you know nothing about your essence of Christmas. And Die Hard is that essence. Good, good director. I can't remember. I watched Titanic last night. Honestly, not for the first time. Not keen on Avatar though. You watched Titanic. did recent events make you think, watch this movie again? Shit. Reese was watching the news and was like, you know what? I want to watch Titanic again. I feel like watching Titanic again. Why not? Why not? Okay. It's a fact, Sam, by the way. It's a fact. Just saying. It's a fact. Film was read by the man watched Titanic multiple times, even if they didn't care for the movie. I've watched that film, I believe, twice. I think more than once, I'm sure, but not many. And to be honest, I didn't overly enjoy it very much. But yeah, I guess it was a decent enough story. It's kind of long. That's why you're going in the home. As long as there's other people there that know that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, I think I'll be alright. Where it was until 95 makes it more intriguing to me. Oh, the real time, yeah. Yeah, that's back. The Titan hits the Titanic. The Titanic hit an iceberg and the Titan hit the Titanic. Titan? Is that, what, another ship? Or what? I'm not sure I get that, Alan, too. Sorry, what's it? Dwelly's version of the pyramids, ship dream. Oh, is that the... Okay, cool, cool. I think Dan just posted a link to the whole I'll be back thing, but... So John knows that this guy's his dad, but he didn't tell him that he's his dad. But that must have been a tough decision to make. Put you in the loony bin, oh man. I swear, Sam's the worst internet wife ever. I mean, just because, you know, I abandoned her with the kid and refused to kowtow to these lies about Die Hard, it's willing to put me in a loony bin. Like, man. What's the world coming to when... What's the world coming to when a man can't, you know, when a man can't abandon his kids without consequences? Like, what's the submarine? Oh, the Titan was a... Oh, okay. Wait, wasn't it called Ocean Gates or something? If they put the prices up on Titanic streaming on DVD recent days, I know places hikes up that's on MJ's music to cash in on his death. Oof. I didn't check, but that would be naughty if they did. Although I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of a good business move, so still. You know, a lot of people got interested in that movie all of a sudden. Well, not even all of a sudden, but you know what I mean. An uptick. Hey, I'll be back. Oh shit. Not Disney app. Oh, the Titanic. Oh wait, well, hold on a sec. I missed a bit. Ocean's Gate was the company. Titan was the name of the sub. Oh, okay, okay, go. Okay, okay. Oh, I see. I understand. I understand that now. I understand that now. Boy, they probably should have given that a different name. I mean, shit. The Titanic sank. The Titan didn't do much better. We're gonna send the next one called the Tit. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Maybe don't name it after anything relating or close to. Just don't. Like, why would you do that? Just asking for trouble at that point. Come on. experiences will never be the same. Kid, a real mental problem. See, I was playing with machine guns. I can't deal with that crap. I don't think the machine guns was my fault. I mean, I wasn't around, first of all, so I don't know how you could blame me for that. Just saying. Just saying. Had a Logitech controller in it. Oh yeah, did they say? Yeah. I think I did see something like that about the controls were based off a game, like a games console controller. It's like raw. And a Logitech, it's not even a good controller. At least they could have based it off like the Xbox controller, so that would have made more sense. That would have at least been a good controller to use. I feel like you'd have more confidence if it was based on an Xbox or a PlayStation controller. Kind of based it on some generic controller. I mean, Logitech make good stuff. I ain't saying that, but come on. Come on. You're going to base off a games controller. At least pick a good games controller to base it on. So the missus just don't sell anything with tit and the name over that part of the Atlantic. Yeah, no motorboating in the in the ocean. This is Charles came from. He said it was gonna go in the submarine that imploded, but he pulled out at the last minute due to safety issues. He did, and yeah, I think a few people were highlighted or mentioned there were safety concerns about it before they were going. And clearly they were right, so, you know. You gotta follow the thing, and you bought milk. I did buy the milk. I just didn't return with it. Just saying. Just saying. I went to the shop to get milk. I got the milk. $30 controller people checked out. $30. That's what, 20 quid, give or take? Man. So they base it on some generic, cheap-ass controller. Bloody hell, man. No wonder, yeah. Wait, what were they thinking? But yeah, I saw one guy saying that he had safety concerns with the structure of it and things like that. And in fact, James Cameron was saying that they were a shoddy company, that they've, you know, made various like sort of safety things in before. So it's like, man. Tiki Motel. We have an episode of Only Fools and Horses when Daryl was telling Rodney about how one day they'd have a big building with the initials of Trollers International Trading up in bright lights. Well, then I watched EastEnders, but I heard some DPO is returning to the show 25 years after Gareth is supposed to be died. He'll be returning with Ian Bill and his son Peter. 25 years. I mean, it's not the first time they brought somebody back from the dead, so. Show such a long time. So I was never very satisfied. Yeah, Only Fools and Horses was a great show. That really was. They kind of longed it out though. Like they really should. When they ended it the first time, they just should have left it there. They just brought it back too many times, and it just wasn't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Give me your address. So how come he can speak in really good grammar when he's imitating somebody's voice, but when his own voice he can't? I'm just saying, that's a bit odd, isn't it? Favorite episode. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Was it nice and smooth? Nice and smooth. When he leans over on the bar, and it opens up the trap door. Drink up, we're leaving. Or the one with the chandeliers when they were like twisting it, and they got the wrong one. Yeah, Dan. I believe. I mean, pretty sure you've said this once, Dan, that you could speak. Was it 4 languages? I think. Is that right? There's quite a few in there. Quite a few in there. Let's be honest. Most of us can barely speak English. You know what I mean? Like, most of us barely speak English, and Dan's out here speaking like 4 languages. It's like raw. As fluid as I like. Hey, it's still a lot though. When you're laid on your bed watching Terminator, you hear the music, and your kid plays Britney in the next room. That in time with the Terminator music. Welcome to my life. It's Britney, bitch. Hit me, baby, one more time. I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. I feel like Britney Spears' music kind of goes well with the Terminator. Stopwatch. They become millionaires. Oh yeah, they found a watch in the garage. Yeah. this time next year, we'll be billionaires. It's Britney, bitch. Friday the 14th would be one of my favorites. 14th? How can you have loved her always when he hasn't, all he done is read about her? Like, he was in love with someone that he read about in the future. That's kind of creepy, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not sure what's worse, somebody trying to kill you or somebody being obsessed with you from a time that long after you dead. Now he's making out with his friend's mom. Oh, so, oh right, okay, gotcha. My bad. She was rumored to be appearing alongside Alice and the customer. I'm still leaving Eminem, and none of them turn up. Oof. She's by the way listening to music. So here's the thing about this scene, right? So James Cameron, the director of this movie, at one time was married to Linda Hamilton, which is the actress in this movie, right? Now, I know, like, it's acting and, you know, they're not really doing anything and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's just acting, but that's got to be a tough movie to make. You know what I mean? Like were they... Because I'm not sure whether if they were married when this film was made, or if they got married afterwards. I'm not sure what the exact timeline is. I'm just saying that if you're the director of a movie that your wife is in, and you're directing a sex scene that your wife is in, and you got to tell this dude to feel up your wife's breasts while you watch, and be like, okay, cut, take again. You're not passionate enough, and you're not grabbing her titties enough. You know, that's gonna be that's gonna be a tough scene to do. But I don't know, maybe they got married after this movie and then it doesn't matter. She was the other day and got a multi-buy on my piston hill. Wait, you mean a mosquito bit your dick? Is that what you're saying? Is that what that means? I think that's how I'm understanding it. That's not funny, by the way. Sorry for laughing. Wasn't still married to Ivan Drago's, but during the Rocky movies. Oh, Bridget Nielsen? I don't know, he might have been. Probably was, actually. He didn't have to watch him do a sex scene, though. No, actually... Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, so you meant pissing hit, as in, oh, my pissing hit, like an expression, right? Not that you actually. I think I understand that now. Alright, here's my question for the group then. If you were directing a movie and your wife's or girlfriend or husband or boyfriend was in that movie as an actress, and there was a sex scene that they had with another actress in that movie, are you still keeping that movie scene in and directing it to the best of your ability, or are you like, no, we're cutting this scene out? Like, what are you doing? You're the director of a movie, and you got to direct your real life wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend in a sex scene with another actor or actress. Are you still directing that movie to the best of your ability? You know, nudity and feeling up and kissing and touching and everything else that goes into a sex scene. Are you still directing that scene with the best of your ability, or are you like, nah, we're cutting this out, we're not doing this? What's you guys saying? Yo, what up, Fred? Been a minute, Frederick. How you doing? Alright, because what a ridiculous place to get a bike. Yeah, gotcha. It's hard to imagine having Drago doing human stuff, like making a coffee, let alone having sex. Well, apparently did, because he has a son by Creed 2. So I don't know, unless it was like, you know, in vitro or something like that. Like he probably had to stand somewhere and get something to jerk him off, and then take his sperm and then inject it into somebody. Maybe he did that. I don't know. Like, is this possible? He was very scientific in that movie, so it's very possible he just did that instead. I don't even go on a night out with that, my missus, so this is an automatic no for me. That's a cute. Yeah, probably because you have to. It's work. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but yeah. So Sam's doing it. Reese is not doing it. Any more answers? Have a sunny day. Appreciate you coming through, Frederick. How you been? As we watch the Terminator. Yeah, I don't know what I would do if that was if that was that, because like I feel like a part of me is going to be like, I don't want to do that scene. I'd want to cut it out. But it also could depend on how much I'm getting paid as well. I ain't gonna lie. Like if the bag is big enough, you know what I mean. If the bag is big enough, I might be like, come on, sweetheart. It's just one scene. It's just don't worry about it. It's just acting. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, Fred, I mean, I don't want to feel like I'm just giving out Fred's business and nothing, but you did tell us a little while ago, so hopefully it's okay, but Fred is on the spectrum. And yeah, has a foot fetish as well. That's probably a bit obvious as well by now. Fred has a very deep foot fetish. You have to separate your partner from the character, yeah. another classic moment coming up, by the way. Just when you think it's all over. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Well, that is cinema history right there. Yeah, Terminator got a broke leg though, dragging it along. So you find me as a kid, I loved it. Yeah, this was just more like that. Oh shit moment, wasn't it? When you see that thing rise out the fire like that, I was like, yo. Yo, what do they have to do? Do you like tuna sandwiches? Tuna sandwiches are alright actually. But I think it depends on which tuna you're using. Like, I mean, tuna on its own, right, pretty bland, but if you got the right ingredients in there, I think, yeah. Put some cheese in there. Put a little chili sauce. Cheese in sunflower, tuna in sunflower oil. Tuna in brine, nah. Or tuna in spring water. Or dry tuna. Yeah, not so much. Really saucy crisps. And, oh, you got a crisp in the sandwich as well. Okay, yeah. I think just by that, Reese, I'm guessing you grew up on a council estate. I'm guessing you grew up in a council estate, Reese. Let me know if I got that right. Let me know if I got that right. Yeah, for yeah. Yeah, but the crisp to the sandwich gave it away. That's so good. So good. I need to try that though, crisp and sandwich. I've never actually tried it. I've never actually tried it myself. I think one of these days I'm gonna have to. One of these days I'm gonna have to. Crisp and sandwich. Do you like how that? Cheese with piccalilli. What's a piccalilli? Put noodles and croissants. Chuck ice out the freezer when the ice cream van turned up. Or was that one of the ones where we got ice cream at home? Yo, what up, Brax? Brax Spivin, a place to bivvy. Cancel series. I'm proud of it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so kind of you, right? Yeah, Brex, how's the mama? Well, let me say, get a truck. I say, let me still do. Fish ring sandwiches on Good Friday. Breeze. Do you ever get those like thick homemade burgers? Oh, Reese didn't make it. But the Terminator did. Yeah, you got those thick homemade burgers. You bite into them and they're like, you gotta chew them like a million times before you can swallow it. I ain't gonna lie, man, I miss those sometimes. So I don't buy my kids shock ice. I get them ice pops. Oh, look how close that is. How? Oof, look at that. Crushed. I always thought that the knuckles looked like A's in this scene. You know, the knuckles on the Terminator's hand look like A's. A's for Arnie. See something maybe. You should know that. Let's see these ice pops. On my way home from school for 5p. And she is back to custom market order. She's gonna meet with gastrologist and physiotherapist. Sounds like she's on the mend then, on the better side of it all. She's back to cussing people out there now. Sounds like things are going well. So, she's on the man. Transformation, the body transformation that Linda Hamilton goes through from this movie to the next movie is insane. Like, she packs on some serious muscle, and it makes sense for her character to have done so. Took a crappy picture and sold it for like $4. There's a storm coming. Well, he doesn't know how right he is. You see where he pulls his eye out and stuff, and ruins the movie slightly as the CGI is actually Dodger. Yeah, no, it looks a bit too fake there. It was like, I mean, I don't think it was CGI though. At least I don't know. Maybe it was, or maybe that's why it looked so bad. But I thought that was like practical effects. But in any case, yeah, it does look a bit off. Whatever that was, it definitely looks a bit off in that scene for sure. Even back in like when I was watching this for the first time, I was watching, it was like that never looked convincing to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, some movies when you watch it for the first time, they look great. You watch them 20 years later and they look terrible. That scene never looked convincing to me. So yeah, I agree with that. Whether that was CGI, practical effects, or whatever it was, it just didn't work. Dan says practical effects. Nice. Some stuff, but some stuff not so much. Depending on the stuff in question, I cannot say with certainty. Do you like stuff? Yeah, it's a pretty broad question, dude. Like, maybe some stuff you like, some stuff you don't like, I guess. Alright, but that was Terminator, The Terminator, 1985. Watching that film again for that, I don't know how many times I've seen this movie at this point. A lot, though. I've seen this movie a lot. Probably more than 10 minimum, probably more than that. But yeah, no, I liked it. Of course, it's The Terminator. It's the movie that starts it all. It's a classic. It was definitely something that unfortunately predicted a lot of things about the future that came true, or at least seemed to be coming true. Hopefully it's not as bad as this movie, but we seems to be heading that direction for sure. But yeah, Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Arnie season, 1985, classic movie directed by James Cameron with Linda Hamilton and Michael Biehn. You like cartoons? I like some cartoons, sure. I mean, I don't really watch a whole lot these days, I guess, but yeah, I watch a few every now and then. Been watching Legend of Korra recently, which I know people don't like to use the word cartoon, but you know, it's still an animation, so. One of my favorites indeed. This guy's got 1100s in the field, and an 18-karat white gold ring on the beach. Oh, nice. Taylor Swift is 13. I mean, her favorite number is 13? Because I'm pretty sure she's not 13 years old. Because, you know, if she's 13 years old, that make a lot of boys very awkward right now. Just saying. Favorite number, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick little break for a few minutes, and then I shall hopefully return in a few minutes, and we could talk more about the Terminator, amongst other things. But yeah, if you could stick around, that would be swell. And I shall see y'all in just a little bit. All right, be right back. No, I'll be back. I'm doing the peace sign. Why am I doing the peace sign? That's not the peace sign. No, here's how I'm supposed to do it. Look sideways. Let me line up the camera properly. Now look sideways. I'll be back. right, thank you for sticking around. For those who stuck around, thank you for joining. For those who have joined, okay. Oof, all right. Oh, let's see. One bit of chat. I missed a few things. It's all good. Let me try and catch up a little bit though. Herself and two people, you know, went to rehab since for one of them twice and they back to that's good. Welcome back, appreciate that, Dan. Sounds like it was very good. Bye for now. I appreciate coming through, Frederick. Till next time. Yeah. Speaking of security questions, though, I mean, hopefully that's not what Fred was doing. I guess it's not impossible. But yeah, it's a good idea to not use the same password for every website, because I feel like one of the ways people remember their passwords is by having one password that they use for every website. The problem with that, of course, is that if somebody finds out one of your passwords, they've literally found out all your passwords. So it's a good idea to have different passwords for different websites. The problem then, of course, it becomes very hard to remember all those different passwords, right? So here's a little trick that you can use. Well, a couple of things you could use actually. One is to use a password manager. If you've got Google, then they have one that you can get for free, and that could just store different passwords for different websites for you. Another thing you can do is not necessarily use the same password, but have a key. So what that means is for each, you have a way of making a password for each website. So every password is different, but because you know the key, as long as you remember the key to make the passwords, no matter which website you go to, you know how to get that password. So you don't necessarily have to remember each and every password. You just need to remember the key to making the passwords. And then you can have different passwords for every website that to everybody else looks, you know, different. But because you know the key, you just need to remember that as like, okay, cool. As long as you don't tell them what the key is, you're good. You're good. One of the most common, yeah, that is true. Actually, yeah. According to security experts, one of the most common passwords is password. So much from that all. Said, you see me, don't you? Get used to seeing from now on. Oh, feedback should be back to full health soon. Indeed, indeed. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, hopefully Fred ain't got no nefarious plans with the questions he's asking, but hey, I guess we'll never know. Or maybe we'll know but when he hacks into our accounts. But yeah, it's not a good idea to use any kind of personal identifiers like pets' names or, you know, streets you grew up on, favorite things like that. If as much as possible, have your password something completely unrelated. In fact, it's probably a good idea to even just make up a word that doesn't even exist to use as your password, like, you know, numbers, letters, numbers, uppercase, lowercase, special characters as well included, all that. Yeah. Where you go to your Twitter account, it's like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't post that. Fred sit back in his chair. My work here is done. My favorite number, so I'm good. That friend was employed by the news of the world. Sent to infiltrate. Yeah, Fred's like the Terminator and infiltration robot. Security posts can be used to get around the phone password. The password itself is very. Oh, that's true as well. Actually, here's another tip then that I've used, and I won't give too many details because you know what I'm saying. But when it comes to security questions, where it says things like, you know, your pet's name, your first pet's name, or your first street name, don't actually give real information. So again, like use things that you know you can remember, but the answer should not actually be correct. So if it says like, you know, first street name, don't put the actual street name that you lived on. Have a word that you can remember that is not your street name, and ideally nothing even related to that street name, but it's just a word, maybe like a word that ideally a made up word that is just completely unrelated, but just something that you know that you can remember, and then use that instead. That way when it comes up, if anybody's trying to go into it or something, you know, it's less difficult. No, less difficult. More difficult, rather. More difficult. I had one where my email got hacked by his dude. I mean, I know the guy who did it, by the way. It wasn't like some random stranger. Someone I knew that did it. But I had my email set up where the security question was, because I think you could choose your own questions, and I put the question as, who is the king? And the answer was, I am. I literally, as in I am, right? Not my name, but as in I am was the answer. And then somebody just went in there and guessed that was the and just guessed with it from the suitcase that answer would have been I am. Got the password and started sending emails around from my account, and it was like, flipping out. $30. Oof. Price hikes, man. Damn. So it's just to do random passwords and keep them all in a book next to your bed. And gonna have to get right up to the bedside cabinet. Maybe he already knows where you live. What did they have? Oh, this was like it was a silly thing. I mean, now I think about it, it's just stupid and silly. Back then I was actually pretty pissed off actually. But we're friends from school, and we're kind of like playing these dumb tricks on each other, where he would put my email down on some mailing list for, you know, gay chat or something like that, right? And I'll do the same thing to him, and I'll put his email down on some man mailing list. So we're just kind of playing these dumb tricks on each other. And then I guess he just kind of took it a step too far, where he went into my email and started sending, and the things at the time, I had I don't know if pen pal is the right word because it's not written letter, but you know, like this is fairly early days of the internet, so you had like an email pal, I guess you'd call it, and so this girl that I was sending back and forth emails with, she was in Australia, at least was, I don't know where she is now. Anyway, like, so we're just kind of send each other emails, like, how you doing, how's your day, blah blah blah, what's up, how's it, It was all kind of cool. And he sent her an email, of course, from my account, saying some mad stuff about me, and of course that ended that that whole thing there. She was like, yeah, I don't think we should continue with this. So yeah, at the time I was pretty pissed, but yeah, this is like years ago now. Now it's kind of like, yeah, this is done and dusted. Can't hold grudges forever. Well, I mean, you can if you want to, but yeah, I'd rather not. But yeah, I still feel like, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I still feel like he definitely took it a step too far going into my email. Like when you play tricks on each other, it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, sign you up to some mailing list, and it's like, bloody hell, now I've got to undo it or whatever. But yeah, I still feel like he took it a step too far. But yeah, it's all in the past now. It's like no point still being mad over it. It's like whatever. It's whatever. Make sure I keep the same password or easy ones to remember. Yeah, that's the thing. If you have passwords that are too easy to remember or all the same, if somebody guesses your password for one place, they got your password for every place. So yeah, there are definitely good ways of having different passwords that aren't particularly difficult. At least, well, I think so anyway. But hey, Hackerman confirmed. Oh, Hackerman, that's Kung Fury. They're supposed to be making a movie to that, actually, like a part 2 movie to it, like a full-length movie, but I don't know if it's actually still going ahead. There's a few big names attached to it, but whether it actually happens or not, man, I hope they do. I hope they actually do make it. That'd be so cool if they make a full-length part 2 to it. He is back. Oof. Whoever made a fake FB account post, yes, she was getting like 10 messages a minute from handles. I can believe that. Hey, I've seen some of the messages that girls get on these social media things and stuff like that, and all some like dating apps and stuff like, bruh. I mean, you probably know this, I'm sure, if your brother sent out a thing, but mate, like some of the messages girls get on these social medias, it's like when you hear them complain about stuff, I'm like, yeah, I believe you. I believe you because I've seen it. I've seen it, and the stuff that I saw is probably tame compared to like some of the more madder things out there. To travel miles on trains to different places to me is not exist. Are you still friends? I mean, I wouldn't say we're not friends, but I guess we're not exactly in contact with each other. Actually, no, I think he's still on my Facebook, but I don't really go on Facebook these days. And yeah, I mean, I don't hate the guy because it's just, like I say, it's just too long ago to still feel like that. But yeah, I mean, I haven't tried to speak to him. He hasn't tried to speak to me. Yeah, it's just, I think if I remember correctly, when it happened, it was long before Facebook and that whole thing anyway. But yeah, eventually at some point, either he added me or I added him on Facebook. And I can't. I guess we messaged or liked. I can't remember because but I don't remember any kind of animosity. But yeah, since then I've not really bothered trying to. Like I said, I don't even use Facebook all too much anyway. But I haven't, strictly speaking, tried to yeah, but yeah, you know, it's just a guy that I know, went to school with. He was a couple of years below me, but we're in sixth form at the same time. So yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't have any kind of animosity towards him, but I'm not necessarily in his life. He's not really in mine, so just one of those things where people drift apart. Messaging, I'm here with a pic of them at some random place. Was funny as well. I'm here. I don't know any. Yeah, get him to go to like Italy or something. Some guy turning up in Rome, just waiting for somebody holding a flower. She didn't come. Based on that project plans, it would be nice. Indeed. Arnold Schwarzenegger's name's attached to it though. That's which is pretty awesome. Like he's supposed to be playing a president or something, but man, it's just whether it's happening or not. Like I guess it's probably, I would assume it's probably something to do with budgeting and time and schedules and all that sort of stuff. But man, I really do hope that happens. This is supposed to be released on November 17th this year. Oh, really? I mean, it's probably it's probably a big if. I'm guessing, especially if it's supposed to be this year. I think that's probably a massive if. But hey, we'll see. It could happen. It could happen. It's not impossible. Messages. Get Stevie and you tell them no and act all entitled. Yeah, there's one girl I used to know showing one of the messages she got from, I think it was like Plenty of Fish or one of these sites like that or something, and it was a long message. I read a little bit of it. The rest of it was like, okay, this is going on too long, but there was like no real kind of introduction. Dude just went straight into all these like, you know, sexual acts he wanted to do with her, you know, and how you do it, and it was like, and it was long. I maybe read, I don't know, maybe a few of the first like maybe 3 or 4 sentences, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. But the whole thing was just like wall of text. And I was like, dude, like that's the type of stuff girls be getting. Like, yo. It sucks though, because like I've been like on social media for ages and ain't nobody sent me a dick pic, so I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I've been on YouTube for a while, man. Ain't nobody sent me a dick pic. I was like, what's going on? I don't know. Your preferred website. This one can send me pick up payment boxes. Not gonna lie, it was impressive. Went on his profile, he had a wife and kid. Oof. Did you send his wife the picture? Like, hey, just so you know, that's what your fella's up to. Oof. Yeah, you know, it's probably not even that unbelievable actually. I remember like it was like an interview with a stripper or something, and she was talking about most of her clients are married. like prostitute was saying it as well. Like a lot of her clients are married, so yeah. Some don't mind. Some be looking for something. Some be looking for a little something, something. Out there, all of disrespectful, scummy, sleazy bugs. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. If I were to guess, and since this is the internet and people like to, you know, give out their unqualified, unasked for opinions, let me give out mine. I would guess that there are a lot of people who have, you know, gotten married, had kids, and that did that whole thing, but they never really wanted to do it. You know, I think there's a lot of people out there who did it because maybe they felt some kind of social pressure or family pressure. In fact, family pressure is probably a big one, I think, certainly in a lot of immigrant cultures, you know. So I feel like there's a lot of people out there who just felt like some kind of family pressure or social pressure or something along those lines. That's something that you have to do as a man, you know, but it's not something they really wanted to do. Like deep down, they didn't really want to do it. They just couldn't necessarily admit to themselves that they didn't want to do it because, you know, of society and everything that goes along with being in society and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, some people do that and their marriages turn out fine. You know, they get on with it, they do what they gotta do, and then it just turns out fine, or at least as fine as on the surface it looks, right? But then others, and probably maybe even the majority, it turns out that they hide in things, you know, whether they're secretly, you know, going with prostitutes or secretly, you know, doing this or whatever, and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that'd be my guess. That would be my guess. I can't prove it. I don't particularly have any inclination to even try and prove it, but that would be my guess. I think there's a lot of people out there, men and women, who'd gotten married, had kids, and it's something that they didn't really want to do. They just felt some kind of pressure to do so. Stay out of that. I've been in a situation before. The wife never believes you. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, sometimes it's best to be like, you know what? Let her find out on her own. I'll let her find out on her own. I don't need this aggro. I'm just so fashionable. YG. If you want to happy, have some dignity and end the relationship fast. Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do, but I guess unfortunately it doesn't always go that way. This just looks real weird, by the way. I just kind of realized how weird it's gonna look on camera, but oh well. Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. It will look like how it looks like. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe something don't want to end a marriage and they just want to be on the side. Some people suggest maybe we're not supposed to just have one partner in the natural world. Just try some competitive. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who believe that actually. In fact, I think there's more people who are in, well, I don't know about more people, but certainly more people who are open about being in, say, open relationships these days, or even was it polyamorous relationships where you have like, you know, one man and two women, or one woman and two men, you know, that kind of thing. There's more people being open about that these days. So yeah, the idea that there's that is a belief amongst some people that we're not supposed to, and I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like you kind of have to, in terms of being in this world and being in a society and being in a culture or whatever, you know, part of that is balancing out how you feel about something and what is the right thing to do, and also understanding that just because you feel something, that doesn't mean that's the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, you might feel tempted to do something, or feel like you want to do something, or feel like something could be fun, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing to do. And figuring out the difference between what you feel and what is right, you know, could be difficult at times, especially in a world right now where a lot of things are being questioned, you know, about, you know, laws, morality, and where everything all fits in. In the end, I'm like, you know what, I'm not here to judge nobody. You know, people are gonna do what people are gonna do, and I'm just trying to do what I'm trying to do. So it is what it is. Life is cool with it. Sounds like a good strategy. Yeah, I think being faithful is a massive part of being with someone. Race, yeah. It's not that famous. It is what it is. More imagery than men, though, and women are more likely to get away with it. Yeah. Has to go to a bar dressed up in alliance. I think that's true for hot women. Or actually, no, let me rephrase that. That's probably true for two types of women: hot women and women who are very, what's the word I'm trying to say? Overtly sexual. You know what I mean? Like, if you are a regular looking chick, right, and you just wear regular looking clothes and you go to a bar, yeah, maybe somebody might approach you, maybe not, and maybe somebody might want to talk to you, maybe not. You know, I'm not saying it's this. It's a definite nothing's gonna happen. You know, maybe. But I feel like if you are a hot woman in that but when I say hot, I'm talking about like that traditional kind of, you know, standard of westernized standard of what hotness is like. You know, that model type, sexy type model look. If you're like that, and yeah, you are like 99% gonna get approached by somebody. Or if you're not necessarily, again, you're just a regular looking girl, you know, but you dress in a way that is very kind of overtly sexual, you know, like big cleavage out and all of that, you know, tight clothes, legs up to here, all that, you know, red lipstick, all those signs of being like, of what, well, all those sort of typical kind of signals that you'd give out as being overtly available, right? Then yes, somebody's gonna approach you. And I know, like, women say things like, "Oh, I just dress this way because I like them." And that's fine. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying, like, let's keep it real. There's certain types of ways that you can dress that are very likely to attract much more attention than other types of ways, right? You know, same for men too, like same for everybody. There's certain types of ways you can dress that is very likely to attract way more attention than other types of ways. I'm just saying, if you're a regular looking girl and you dress in those types of ways and just go sit in a bus, somebody's gonna come talk to you. You know, somebody's gonna come talk to you, because whether you intend it or not, you know, whether you want to or not, bottom line is people are receiving signals. It's just the way it is. I don't make the rules, man. I don't make the rules. Now I did see there was a video by Aber and Preach, and I think to be honest, I don't watch the whole video, but I think like the first part of it, they were watching this, they were reacting to like this, I guess a relationship expert or something, and she was talking about women more likely to cheat on their partners in relationships with, like, you know, the high value men type person, you know, and that sort of thing. Like women are more likely to cheat on those guys. So I mean, I don't know what the statistics are saying, but yeah, I mean, I can believe it. I can believe it. Sam's a ride or die. We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Let's see if we can find out more real quick. Who is more likely to cheat in a relationship? Okay, so the first results. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, the first few results are saying that men are more likely to cheat in a relationship, with 20% of men and 13% of women reporting having sex with someone other than their partner while still married. However, the gender gap varies per age. There are also other factors that may influence cheating behavior, such as personality traits. And that's according to, I guess, a few different sites. It's discreeteinvestigations.ca, bustle.com, nypost.com, and some others. So according to AI search results, men are more likely to cheat. And that seems to be the top few results are saying something similar as well. But either way, whether it's men or women, cheating is bad. So let's agree on that much at least. I guess it doesn't matter in the end. It's not good either way. I think to be fair though, it seems like they're asked for these for these results about men cheating more. It seems like they're asking people about if they've cheated or not. And if they're asking people, that would 100% depend on how honest people are being, you know? So if more men were honest about cheating, and less women were honest about being cheating, that could definitely affect the results because they're reporting on what they said. You know, they're asking people, hey, did you cheat? Yeah. Did you cheat? No. I guess there's no real way of knowing if they lied or not. So at the very least, we can say that men are more likely to admit that they cheated than women. Whether men actually cheat more than women, I guess, is not really known. That is a problem with the study, indeed. I think it's a problem with just any kind of survey. There's always going to be something that, because I feel like you could pretty much find out. You can use surveys and statistics and things like that to pretty much prove just about anything you want to prove, right? But unless you know exactly what the parameters of the survey was and what they asked, what they didn't ask, and specifically what was said and what was, you know, all that sort of stuff, you have no real way of knowing if what the results are really indicative of what is actually happening. I mean, I expect Elliot to die too. Also, you, Woody, I do not want you to move on and be happy. Get in this coffin with me. So what, be 3 people in a coffin? Man. Ugh. 3 people in this tight coffin, just like all there, just like, like, damn it. So there is a grey area of what constitutes cheating. Oh, yeah, true, yeah. Like, some people would consider flirting as cheating, and some people won't. It's kissing, cheating, sending DMs, yeah. Which is why, if I remember correctly from the study, it is men 20%, I believe women's 13%. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what these results said, Dan. So yeah, 20% of men, 30% of women. Yeah, that is exactly what it said. Dan be looking at the same studies I am. The heart wants what the heart wants. Selena Gomez song. What's that? Touch me with your hands. Man, could be some small coffin with scrunched up with 3 people. That sucks. Can I at least be in the middle though? Because can I at least be in the middle? Just clicked on it now, waiting for it to load up. Oh, the heart wants what? Okay, yeah. Kisses and cheating, a snog is cheating as for messing my rules. It's fine as long as messing my rules is fine as long as you're not hiding it. But yeah, I guess that's an important thing as well. Like, how open are you about it? You know? And I guess what it really comes down to is not so much whether you're messaging or flirting with somebody, but what does the flirting mean to you? Like, you could be flirting with somebody and just it's a joke to you, you're just messing around. No, it's not a secret, people see it, you know, everybody kind of knows it's a joke, you know, and that kind of thing, and that's probably like fine. But if you're flirting a bit with somebody and your instinct is to kind of keep it secret and not let too many people know, and maybe it means more to you than you're letting on, and that I feel like that's where it's possibly a little bit different. So I feel like it's definitely depend on like specifics and nuances, and not so much the act itself. It's like if you were saying earlier about directing a movie with like your partner in a sex scene. It's like that's not cheating because you know about it. Matter of fact, you'd be there when it's happening, and you'd be directing the action, saying, "Nope, that's not how to feel her boobies. That's not how to feel her boobies." Take 2, take 3. I don't know, man. I just keep getting it wrong. Christian side hug. That's what I was referring to. Selena Gomez. This song was uploaded to YouTube 8 years ago, and since then it has amassed 833 million views. That is madness. That is madness. But yeah, Selena Gomez, man. Big up Selena Gomez. Talking of hugs, did you see Joe Biden hugging Ava Longoria? She removed it. I did not see that, no. That's gotta be funny though. That's gotta be funny. Like, you got to give someone a hug and she's like, Let's see what just check what Dan sent real quick. Oh, the Christian side hug. Okay, yeah. That was a whole song, 4-minute song. All right, I did not know that. All right, let me see if I can find Joe Biden. Let's see here. Joe Biden hugging Ava Longoria. Let's see if there's a video. That'd be even better. Biden raises eyebrows with his Ava Longoria embrace. All right, let's see here. Is this the one, by the way? There's one sec. Let me back this up a little bit. That doesn't look too as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be like proper blatant, like taking his hands off her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that didn't look too bad. I can't lie, that didn't look too bad, unless it's the wrong one. It's from a week ago. It says, "You guys get rid of women. Yeah, you're only friends with if a girl you were seeing had a problem with it." Would I? Might depend on which friend, actually. I hope that I wouldn't, actually. I mean, I don't want to say I definitely wouldn't, because it's hard to say what you would do when you're not actually in that situation. But I'd hope that I wouldn't. I think that, I mean, for one thing, I don't. I mean, a lot of my female friends, I typically don't see that often anyway. So it's not like I'm there every day and we're hanging out and we're hugging all the time. You know, it's not like, you know what I mean? I think a lot of my female friends, you know, I see them occasionally. So I feel like if somebody had an issue with even that, she's deeply insecure. I think that's what that would say to me. I feel like if I'm with somebody who has a problem with even that, it'd be like, I feel like there's a massive insecurity there, and it'd be like, you know what, you need to deal with that, because that's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be tiptoeing around things like that. I ain't trying to invite more stress into my life. Keep an eye on his hands. Look where they were positioned and look where they were heading. All right, let's try this again then. Let's see. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something. In fact, let's enlarge this so we can see it properly. Let me enlarge that a little bit. So we'll try and see this properly. So we've got to look where his hands are, right? And we're going to look where they're going. Actually, can we slow this down? I think you can slow things down on YouTube. Settings. Playback speed. To slow it down to... Shall we go with half speed? Let's go half speed. I think that should do. And then let's see if we could see where his hands are and where they're heading. Okay, yeah. I think I see what you mean. I think I see what you mean. Okay. A little subtle, you know. I guess she caught it well in time, but yeah, it's definitely I mean, I think, to be fair, it's maybe not blatant that that's what he's doing, but yeah, I could see it. I could see it. Joe Biden, you old dog, you. Joe Biden, you dirty old man. Noticed she handled it like a pro from back. Yeah, for sure. No, she definitely handled it like a pro. Like it like if you play it, like, at least for me, I guess other people spotted it clearly. Other people spotted it and I didn't. But I feel like if you play it just normally, it doesn't look like much. Okay, let me turn it back to normal speed actually. It doesn't look like much. I'll flip now. There we go, yeah, normal speed. It just looks pretty regular. Like, it looks like, you know, they just got kind of parting, and then she's maybe taking his hands and like shaking his hands as they're parting. That's what it looks like, right? But yeah, nah, when you watch it in slow motion, it's a little bit, oh, actually, could he have? Was he trying to? Was he trying to? Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Maybe it's perfectly innocent. Or maybe, just maybe, Joe Biden needs to watch himself. Joe Biden needs to watch himself. Yes, I wonder how close we are. If we are very close, then no. So I think it's a red flag. Then she asks you to stop being friends. It's about her own insecurities. Yeah, that's another thing as well. It's like, if you are the type of person who's giving your partner lots of reasons to not trust you, right? If you're that type of person who's like giving your partner lots of reasons to not trust you, and she says to you like, I need you to stop hang around with your female friends. First of all, I feel like in that kind of case, it's probably best like she just leaves you. If you're giving her a lot of reasons to not trust you, she should probably leave you, right? But in that kind of case, it gets a little bit different. Maybe she's like, okay, this is my final thing. If you can't do this, I'm gonna go. But yeah, I feel like that sort of thing maybe a little bit different. If you're not, like if it's like I say, it's just people you know, whether it's people you know from work or whatever, and you know them for a while, then yeah, it's like, look, I can't be tiptoeing around people like that. It's just not. That's not. Nah. It's like, look, I likes you. I really likes you, and I want this to work out. But I'm not gonna cater to your undealt with trauma. That's just kind of what this is in there. It's some kind of undealt with trauma. Something's happened in your past, and we need to discuss it. We need to talk about it. We may even need to see a counselor about it. But I'm not gonna cater to somebody's trauma like that. Not in that. Well, I'm not gonna cater to it. Not like that anyway. Because at first of all, if I think you start doing that, it doesn't really solve what the underlying issue is. It doesn't actually solve what the underlying issue is. So I feel like, nah, we're gonna have to talk about this. Yeah. I think there's some guys out there that I've seen say things like when they get in a relationship, they cut off all their female friends. And I think so I've heard some women say something similar as well. When they get into a relationship, they cut off all their male friends. And I mean, look, each to their own. Like, I'm not, like I say, I'm not here to judge nobody, but to me, it seems unfeasible to do that. And honestly, it just feels like a terrible idea. Like, why would you just cut off all your friends? Like, the only reason you hang around with them was for the possibility that you could do something with them, and once that possibility no longer exists, you can be like, well, you're no good to me now, let me just cut you off. Because that's effectively what that means, right? If you're willing to cut, if you're willing to just say, I'm going to cut, not that you were asked to, but if you're saying like, yeah, I will cut off all my female friends when I get into a relationship, what was that saying about how you thought about them in the first place? Like, they weren't just your friends, they were just there in case something could happen, but now that you're with somebody, nothing's going to happen with them, so like, you know, just cut them off and I won't bother them no more. Like, that's lame to me. That's lame to me, so yeah. But hey, people gonna do what people gonna do. People gonna do what people gonna do. interested in you. That could be a different situation. I mean, that could be more a case of saying like, look, you need to know that I'm with her and what's ain't gonna happen. And yeah, if she's maybe getting a little bit too intense, then yeah, that might be something that you might need to cut off. Like if that was the case, then yeah, that might be something you might need to cut off, just because like that's now an interference to your relationship. If somebody's like coming in like that or attempting to, they might be like, hey, look, this is not cool. And that means something that you ain't to, you know what, I'm just gonna cut you off like that because this is not cool. That's not cool. Because at the end of the day, that's just disrespectful to you. You know what I mean? To do something like that. So it's like, nah. If she was a real friend, she'd wait till you get dumped and then she'll move in. That's what a real friend does. That's what a real friend would do. If she's really your friend, she'll wait till your current girl dumps you and then be like, oh yeah, come let me, you know, then not be like trying to move in while you're with somebody. Nah. Wait till you get dumped and then do something. That's what a real friend does. That's what guys do. Just wait till you get dumped. If you're in a relationship and you have a friend who's a guy, he's just waiting till you're dumped. That's all he's doing. He's waiting till you get dumped. And he's like, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Finally, my time has come. Dudes can be patient, by the way, just so you know. Dudes can be real patient. Even if you're completely loyal, you cut them off knowing how they feel if you're yourself, channels and comfortable. Yeah, because if you know, I mean, you'd have to, you'd have to know that you're not trying to do nothing with her anyway. But if she's trying something with you, like if somebody is trying something with you while you're in a relationship with someone else, then yeah, you need to tell her, hey, look, this can't happen. And if that's not a thing she can respect, then yeah, I feel like that's not a problem to like. But you know what? Well, I can't be your friend. Like, you can't really be friends with somebody who's openly disrespecting you like that. You know, like if you're with somebody and they're trying to, you know, put it on you like that, knowing that you're with somebody, and after you've said it's not cool and they're still doing it, then yeah, that is a good reason to be like, you know, we can't be friends. We can't be friends. In public. No, but for real though, I feel like, yeah, if it's something like that, if she's openly like coming onto you after you've said it's not okay, after you say, look, I'm in a relationship with somebody, this is not okay, I'm not okay with this is not cool, and she's still doing it, then yeah, that's something you need to cut off. I think that's something you need to cut off. Insert name here is now single, so they know. Yeah, that's how it be. That's how it be. That's how it be. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that. How you holding up? Let me know if you need to chat, yeah? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. See, we should go out for a coffee if you. Bruh. You okay? Yeah, you okay, hon? Yeah, that one too. Some dudes are just obvious. I ain't gonna lie, I've probably been a little bit obvious myself in the past. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, perhaps because I've been obvious in the past, I probably see it more now. When you see other guys being obvious, I'm like, dude, you're obvious. You're obvious. Been there. Just listening to the convo. I appreciate you, Brax. Appreciate you. Yeah, next live stream tomorrow. Watching the X-Files. Continuing the X-Files journey. Almost through season 2. Maybe a few more weeks ago. I think about 3 or 4 weeks to go. So yeah, and after that, we'll figure out what we do next. As for movie night, what shall we watch next week? Let's consult my movie list. Let's see if we can decide now what we're watching next week. Some of these things have been on my list for a long time. So let's see if we could clear off some of this older stuff. Guys, be simping. Alright, here's a question for you guys real quick. And be honest. So you got to be honest. You got to be honest. This is a judgment-free zone, because I know I've done some embarrassing things in the past, and I know I'm not the only one. So my question is, name a time when you simped just a little bit too hard over a girl. Or for the girls, name a time when you simped just a little bit too hard over a guy. That's my question for the group. A time where you simped just a little bit too hard over somebody. So Fatal Beauty has been on the list for a long time. If I remember correctly, Brax recommended this one, but it's been on the list for a long time. So perhaps it's time we watch that. Are you guys cool with Fatal Beauty? It's a 1987 action comedy starring Whoopi Goldberg and Sam Elliott, along with Ruben Blades, Harris Yulin, Jennifer Warren, Micah Jolly, and a bunch of other people whose names I'm not going to read out right now. But this one's on Amazon Prime. It's a premium video, so you got to buy it or rent it. You don't have to buy it or rent it, of course. You can just come along and have some fun. But yeah, that's Fatal Beauty. Are you guys cool with Fatal Beauty? Whoopi Goldberg, 1987, with Sam Elliott. When a single mom breaks up with her BF, it's my kids are my world, until a week later she has a new BF. My kids are my world, they're all that matter. Well, hello, daddy. I can't think of any time where I did that. Really, Dan? Never? Ever, ever? There's never been a girl that you liked that maybe just simps just a little bit too hard? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. Just a tiny little bit. You know what? You had to take a step back and be like, you know what? I think I simped just a little bit too hard there. Let me not do that no more. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. On how to add my email on Twitter. I don't think you need to watch a video on how to do. That's pretty straightforward. Just go into your Twitter account, and matter of fact, you already have your email on Twitter, because you need your email to sign up. You could change your email easy enough as well. Just go into your settings, but I think we all know a few people like that. Yeah, was that guy I fancied in Spider's nightclub? I would drool over him until one night I got got the balls to talk to him, and he was painfully dull, crush over. Oof, oof. That sucks when that happens, and you fancy somebody, you talk to them, and you're like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, there's one time at like this party where there's a girl that I met there. Well, I say girl, I mean, she was actually, I'm pretty sure she's older than me, like by a few years. And it's kind of weird because I don't even think that I fancied her in that kind of traditional way, but she was kind of like nice looking, you know, kind of cool. And we're at this party, and you know, we end up kind of like dancing together and kind of making out a little bit on the floor, on the dance floor. And then I don't know whether I was just kind of caught up in that whole kind of emotion of it, but there was just something about this woman that I don't even know what it was, some kind of magnetism, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but it was weird because I said I don't think I fancied her in that traditional sense, but yeah, just something about her. So like we kind of made out a little bit on the dance floor, and then I guess kind of moved around, and then I saw her sitting over somewhere, so I kind of walked over there and sat down, and then it was kind of weird, like I'm just kind of sitting down by this woman that I don't even know. And it was kind of because she was like sort of sitting on this thing outside, I guess a wall or something outside, and I sat down in front of her, so I'm a bit sort of lower down, so I'm literally like sitting, you know, by her feet. And yeah, I don't know what made me do that. I don't know what made me do that. But she was like, at one point, she said something like, what she said? She said, I can't remember exact words, but she said something about, I don't know why you follow me around like a puppy dog. Good thing I didn't fuck you. And I think it was at that point where I kind of snapped out of it, like, what am I doing? what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, yeah. Like, yeah, maybe just a little bit too hard. Maybe just a little bit too hard at that point. You can somewhat get away with simping with girls as a teen, so I ain't gonna say nothing away. Yeah, and on how to attach my email to my Twitter for it to be. Oh, right, okay. To be honest, no, I remember talking to women and having a laugh that I thought were very cute, but I never got to a simping point since I never saw the point of that. Well, that would be a strong wake-up call for real. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think a lot of guys, well, to my mind, I think a lot of guys go for it at some point. I guess a lot of girls, but everybody a lot of people go for it, and just is what it is. It's part of life, part of getting older, growing up, learning from your mistakes, and being like, you know what, yeah, maybe I need to check myself a little bit. Exactly, all learning experience. It's all learning experience. Just have to catch yourself, like, hey, what am I doing? But hey, at least I got to make out with a cute stranger, so hey, ain't no bad. Ain't no bad. Ain't no bad. Got to make out with a cute older woman, so ain't no bad. Thank you, Mistakes indeed a part of life, yeah. I think we'll go from embarrassing experiences. I hope we wish we could go back and also that. It's about learning from it and using, and that was a bad experience indeed. He told me he fancied me for years before he talked to me, and I laughed at him. Oof. Must have felt like his heart got ripped out, like. But who's laughing now, huh? Who's laughing now? Alright, guys, it is getting to that time where I should be winding this chat down, winding the stream down, so I couldn't lay my head down to rest and do the whole sleeping thing. But yeah, wore me down. So that's what you gotta do. Just keep pestering women till they say yes. Oh, so I usually give up on the first no. I don't really supposed to keep going at it. Like you're supposed to keep bothering them until they say yes. Oh, I see now. I see. I've been doing it wrong all this time. Don't take no for an answer. That's what you're supposed to. Of course. Yeah, I guess you have to be sure. I guess you have to be sure. Otherwise, that can get real awkward real quick. But guys, you've been awesome as always. I appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for keeping it lively. The village is strong, and that's all y'all doing. So yeah, tomorrow 8 p.m. GMT-ish for the next live stream for X-Files on Disney Plus. Continue with that. But until whenever, if ever, hopefully tomorrow. Peace.